Thursday, March 9th, 2023. We have a little bit of different setup here today. Been messing with some audio and video stuff, so bear with us here. We're going to get some of this video stuff sorted out here as well. Get a little bit better angle going forward. But wanted to give you the market update for the day as we are trying to improve our setup for you. We're going to see how the economy is improving for us. Is it? But the most important thing is to improve it for ourselves. We take matters into our own hands here. This is what we do and what we focus on. Independence and resilience through our own efforts. We're not relying on other people to do things for us. Getting our own Bitcoin, gold, silver, food, energy, water, land, community. The number one thing, community. Building community in this world. And the people that are like us, that are like-minded, that are going to build and prosper in the coming chaos. Because there is chaos, as we all have seen, as we all have found out, there is much chaos planned. And we're going to go into more of this than we have for a long time. The conspirators hierarchy, the Great Reset, the Great Narrative, Agenda 2030, Royal Institute of Affairs, right? On and on and on down the list. The Committee of 300, what they have planned for us, and they've talked about forever. The endless videos showing us what they have planned for us. You know, making fake meat and fake food for us, and living on fake lands, and smart cities, and 15-minute cities, and putting things in your body that you don't agree to. Well, this is the way out of this. It's understanding where we're at, where we're going. So we talk about the three things, the big trifecta of understanding where market's going. You probably throw in a fourth thing, actually, the volatility index, the VIX, which maybe we'll start showing on here. But the bond market, as my children are crying out in the background because of the ridiculousness of the bond market, bumping back up towards 4% again. These are not supposed to be swinging wildly. This is not what's supposed to happen. This is continuing to happen. People are freaked out, rightfully so. And it's inverted. The yield curve is inverted, as we can see down here. So the bond market is signaling, again, that there's going to be chaos in the future. That's what the bond market is signaling. And the bond market's, I don't know what time that it's been wrong. Forecasting what's going to happen in the next six to 18 months. So I don't know when that's been wrong. And it's been inverted for about a year now, I would say. So we're coming up on the end of the tracks here. The tracks are out ahead, and the ravine is up here. For the Back to the Future 3 fans here, Back to the Future fans, Back to the Future 3. So this is what is happening, and the 10-year yield is the bellwether. It is the benchmark for all really assets in the world, all debt in the world. So this is why this variable rate, as it goes up, starts to squeeze people, and they have to find more dollars to pay off their existing debts. So that is the first part of the trifecta. The second part of the trifecta is the DXY. And this has been steadily climbing as well, obviously. So this has been a problem. And again, when people are selling out of these assets, they're generally just sitting on cash on the sidelines. The DXY goes up in relative strength. So we have to watch these two. These are very, very big indicators to watch. The volatility index, like we said, is another thing we should be watching. You need to watch the oil. Oil is the other really the big one, the third or fourth one here that we want to watch. It's at $77 a barrel. This, again, in my estimation, all these commodities are really going to start climbing in the coming years here. Everything kind of dipped down over the last week or so because of on Monday, I believe it was Monday or Tuesday, the comments from Jay Powell saying, hey, we're probably going to have to raise rates longer than we thought, and inflation's still hot. And again, inflation at 6-7%, that's off a higher base from a year ago. 12 months ago, inflation was already high. So think about how much inflation is already, just the smoke and mirrors that are going on, the mental gymnastics that are being played on the average person. They're just not knowing what is going on truly. But we know here because we watch these things, we talk about it. We are not afraid to figure out truth and reality. And that's the only way to get to the core issue, not putting band-aids in bullet holes, but getting to the core root issue. That's the only way to get ahead and actually do what we need to do in order to have a prosperous future, quite honestly, an abundant future. So gold and silver down, again, have climbed a little bit after they got crushed. Everything got crushed. Like I said, everything except the dollar got crushed a few days ago. They've climbed up back a little bit, and so that's decent to see because gold, silver, Bitcoin are really those three global liquidity indicators. So crypto section here, really Bitcoin is the only thing we look at. It's the only thing that matters. Look at the indexes really quick. They've touched, the S&P 500 has touched 4,000, so they've bumped up just a tad. But Bitcoin is down a couple percent again today because Silvergate, big bank in the Bitcoin world, crypto world, whatever you want to call it, they are liquidating apparently. So claiming more victims, these rising rates. This is what's amazing though. True free markets, there's no one to bail you out in the Bitcoin world. You have to be a good player. You have to be a good actor. Otherwise, you will go bust. And that's what's being seen here around the world. And as People say all the time, right? This old saying of when the tide goes out, liquidity tide goes out, we'll see who's swimming naked. Well, there's a lot of crypto garbage out there, a lot of BS going on, and Bitcoin is the asset without the issuer. It is the true commodity. It is the true money, the hardest money we've ever had. This is why it stands tall still. It's gone down 1% on massive news that another firm, a Bitcoin crypto bank, is going under. I mean, it's weathered these storms very, very well, and it continues to do so. TikTok next block every 10 minutes. This is the money of the future. People think that money, people are like, well, government won't let it, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? We've been talking about this for a month or two now. Government doesn't produce money. They don't do anything. Money comes from you and I producing goods and transacting with each other. It's from private issuance, actually. That's how money is actually created and dispersed and made. That is it. Government doesn't make money. And if you think that, you have been brainwashed by the General Education Board, by the Committee of 300. You have been brainwashed. And this is your wake-up call to start doing your research and understanding where money comes from and where rights come from. Rights come from God. They come from God. They don't come from man. They don't come from the guy in the 30s running Germany. They don't come from Donald Trump or Joe Biden. They don't come from government. Rights come from your creator. They cannot be taken away. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, among others, cannot be taken from you. Let's get that straight. Money does not come from governments. Money has to be a store of value. They've taken gold and silver out of the money, so there's no longer a store of value. Currency we have now, just the dollar is currency. All fiat currencies are attached to the dollar, which is a fiat currency itself. So they're all fiat currencies. If you're saving dollars, pesos, yen, currencies, you have a liability on your balance sheet you think is an asset. You've been told and taught. That's the big lie. That's one of the big lies governments have been telling you, that are making you poor and enslaving you in debt. And how do we know that? Well, here we go. Here's another way with the debt clock. $31.5 trillion in debt. Now tell me, if we had Bitcoin or gold or silver or some actual commodity money, how would we have that much debt? It wouldn't work. There's only so much that the people would put up with until they say, you're not spending my wealth. People don't care because it's fugazis. They get to print it into oblivion and then steal it through inflation, through you, every fraction of the dollar you own, every dollar they print every day, stealing it from you without asking you, with taxation, without representation. They get to do whatever they want with it. Get to spray it to Ukraine, spray it to Afghanistan, spray it to pet projects, 10% for the big guy, and on and on and on. This is how this works. 120% debt to GDP. That doesn't work. That doesn't work in a sound money world. And yes, there does need to be education. George Gammon beats the education drum, right? We talk about education here all the time. Education is needed. Education is absolutely needed. My argument with George Gammon, I talked to him the other day again, is, George, how do we think we're going to start reversing that education? We need to constrict government and to constrict the mouthpieces, the media, academia, and tighten that muzzle down so they can't go just do whatever they want and spray it into whatever they want to be spraying it into, that propaganda. That's the big cog. It's the Trojan horse. Bitcoin is a Trojan horse, and it makes the issuance of money back into the people's hands, and it makes them responsible. People are responsible for their education, and the government no longer has the grip on educating, brainwashing people, no longer has a grip on printing currency and stealing wealth, its time and energy away from its citizens. Those things are what come first. Education. How are you going to start re-educating people if they were in a fiat monetary system? They are then incentivized. The incentives are too strong to over-education. The incentives are too strong to just get free things or just to get student loan debt canceled or their home they're foreclosing on just to get that canceled. So we have to fix the money, therefore fix the world, start healing everything else, and we can start re-educating everyone. Bitcoin forces the re-education of truth and reality. So this is the world we are in. This is the debt continually spiraling upwards. This is Bitcoin against the dollar, destroying the dollar. So if you keep holding dollars, you keep getting poor over time. If you keep holding hard assets like Bitcoin, you keep getting wealthier over time. The true money. Bitcoin is true money. So let's see again, is Bitcoin running? We'll check to see if Bitcoin's running. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Bitcoin is running 780,000 blocks. Beautiful. And here's the mempool to see what's actually happening in the mempool. Is it running? Yes, beautiful. Bitcoin is running. TikTok next block. The hardest network ever invented, discovered by human beings. You cannot say that. You cannot do that with the United States government. We can't audit anything. We have no idea what's going on here. So good luck auditing that. Good luck figuring that out, that Ponzi scheme. Don't know what to tell you. I have moved my world into a world of truth and reality on the Bitcoin blockchain. Everything in the world divided by 21 million. Hey, the rest is up to you. I appreciate you being here, listening to my TED Talk. This is not financial advice. It's freedom advice. That's all this is. Let's not put Band-Aids on bullet holes anymore. Let's get to the root problem. Be adults. Be real human beings. Be responsible, accountable human beings to each other. Let's build community. Please share this out because let's be honest. The algorithm hates truth, hates reality, hates digging deep, asking why. So please share this out if you feel inclined to do so. And I appreciate your time and energy here because it's the most important asset we have, like Bitcoin. The only two finite things I know of, Bitcoin and time. So time is Bitcoin and Bitcoin is time. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.